I personally pay for it for my buyer, but you could do it if you want. I just don't like having to worry about if the buyer followed through and if they set the dates up right. I mean, you're looking at like $50 or something to turn it on and off. So I'd rather have control of it personally, but you could, if you think your buyer is savvy enough to do it.
And you said you can only have it on 3 days?
3 days at a time.
And how does HUD know how long you have it?
They'll check with SDG&E.
Really?
Because they're the owner of the property, so they can check on that. Yeah. We've had buyers get popped for it before.
Why is that a sin? I mean, if it went over to day
They just
four,
want to be really careful that plumbing, you know, is not
I
on.
see.
Some of these things have unsafe plumbing, unsafe electrical. They winterize everything.
Here?
Yeah. So when you go see a HUD home, it's going to be wrapped in freaking saran wrap and everything. It's silly.
Just
so
a
they're
side
super
note,
strict.
we wintermize here. We don't.
And we actually have to report it too. So if we see that power is on after that 3-day period, it's our responsibility to report it to HUD. So we kind of have to be utility police as well, because we don't want a house to blow up or flood, and it just creates a big headache for us. And if it floods, we have one that flooded, and they just sucked the water out and let the mold grow. Or I'm sorry, discoloration. And then they're not fixing it. They didn't even cut the drywall out. It's crazy. And they just made the buyer sign a release. So like when I say as is, like don't even waste your time, don't even think about a request for repairs, they don't exist. What they'll tell you is you can back out of the deal and then rebid on it and hope nobody else rebids, but that would not be a wise decision.
Is that disclosed to the buyer? If something happened to?
If we knew about it as a listing agent, we would disclose it for sure. But will HUD disclose it? I don't think they have any means of, because you don't get any disclosures with HUD. The contract you fill out, I think it's like 12 or 13 pages, but that's the contract and all the disclosures up front. That's it. You're not going to get anything else from the seller. They're not going to pay for NHD. They're not going to do any TDS or SPQ or SBSA or any of that crap. They have only their own forms. The one and only CAR form that gets done is the agency disclosure. And outside of that, there's no other CAR forms used. They will not sign anything. And just to be brutally honest, the appraisals are all coming in horribly low right now. Like the one that had 106 offers appraised at 175. If I was allowed to buy it, I would have bought it for 280 and flipped it and probably made 50 grand on it. So they're having a tendency to come in really low with the appraisals, and then they get bid up through the roof. Most of them lately have been going about 20% above the list price. We're trying to work with HUD to get better appraisers in there because they want these things to go to FHA buyers. Well, if you stick somebody with a low FHA appraisal, you're kind of screwing yourself to get a new FHA buyer in there, because not too many FHA buyers have $105,000 plus 3.5% to put down. So we're working with HUD to try to get some better appraisers in there that actually know what they're doing. But lately, most of them have been undervalued, and then they end up going well above the list price. But 5% conventional is out there, so you know, if you have a buyer who was thinking of going FHA, but they need to bid over the list price, maybe they can go with like a 5% conventional product instead, and then they can get a new appraisal done.
Interest rate's higher though.
Yeah, but it's a good deal, you know.
Good you in.
My interest rate on my hard money loans is ridiculously high, but it still lets me make money, so you know, it's just an overall big picture thing they gotta look at.
5%, it's 4.25 now.
It's probably a lot higher. The good thing is they can do like a upfront MI on that, so you can pay like, usually it's like 2.5 points. They can wipe out MI forever. So some lenders have that option. The credit requirements are stricter too.
Well, in FHA, the MI is going to remain forever as of
Right.
21.
Yep. But conventional 5%, you could wipe it out. So a lot of buyers, if they have like 7 or 8% down, they can put the 5% down on the conventional and wipe out MI forever.
No MI.
So that's a good option for people when it's a HUD home, because then they can get a new appraisal done. If it appraises low, HUD doesn't care. So they'll tell you can back out or you can come up with a difference. So there's no renegotiations of any kind. And that email address really does go to me. That phone number is just a general office number, but my extension's 777 if you guys need my office extension. But that email does go to me. I know a lot of REO brokers, they have no idea what's going on with their properties or anything, but you guys can call me on anything and I'll be glad to help you guys out. I actually see my properties, unlike a lot of REO agents. Any other questions? Yeah.
I have a dumb question too.
Okay.
I had this buyer from Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and he made an offer on a HUD home, and then it came to the social security number part.
Right.
I didn't know what to put there. What other number? It says EIN, and then there's another.
Yeah,
one.
the EIN's for the brokerage. I can check on that. I'm not sure the answer if a non-U.S. citizen can buy one or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check on that. I'll email you on this. So I don't know the answer to that.
Just as a side note, I've seen this through the junior college. You can go and take essentially a practice test that if you're enrolling in school, and anybody can enroll in a junior college, they give you a basic test, and then that comes back with a 9-digit number that serves as a social security number during the time you're in the school system.
Okay.
Whether or not that would parlay to this or not, I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's recognized as that
Okay.
through the program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely check on that for you and make sure to get back to you.
But I would think the
Positive
answer would be we're in the process of getting that right now.
But it won't let you submit
Okay,
without.
oh.
It has one
Yeah.
of those stars next to
on
it.
it. Right.
So I just
Legals
put
can do
a.
that.
I
Just
just
did it
put
as a
number.
business or something. And
Yeah,
or
I'm
you
sure
just-
that's what they're looking for.
I'm sure that didn't work.
Yeah, I'll check on that for you for sure. Find out.
Say, put it in the
Just to
next one.
submit it.
Yeah, because if you put a fake number and you put the same fake number on the actual contract,
I
Yeah.
figured we'd talk about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they do run checks, because they check the social to make sure you're not like a HUD employee or any of that stuff. They're super strict. Like, we can't bid on any HUD home. Nobody in my office can buy a HUD home, any HUD home, whether it's my listing or not. We're totally precluded. So HUD's really strict about that. So yeah, you don't have to compete with us either. So there's a good thing.
Even if it went to the, like you said, investor opportunities, you're pinched out of that too?
Even if it's somebody
Interesting.
else's listing. And
Uh-huh.
even my agents can't buy them. Anybody employed by me can't buy them. My family can't buy them. Any HUD home.
I'll use that in recruiting.
Don't go work with Kyle. You can't buy one of those.
Okay. Any other questions for Kyle Whistle? Here's a
If
question.
so you talked about getting your utilities turned on and stuff like that, and that includes water and stuff, even though they've winterized that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, and then you just gotta
Light
make sure
all
everything's
pilot.
back off. We typically, the water company, the actual switch is usually off at the street. So I personally carry around the tool to turn water on. It's just kind of what you do as an REO agent. So we'll turn it on when the inspector gets there, and when he leaves, we turn it back off just to prevent anything from happening.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To be safe. So I mean, if it's a condo, there's usually a little lever outside. Even most houses, there's
Yeah.
a shut off in front of the house. We shut it off at the street just to be safe.
Okay.
So we'll turn it on for the inspector when he gets there and turn it off when he leaves.
I see.
We just want to be safe because if it does flood and HUD finds out it's your fault,
Yeah.
they're probably going to kill the deal and or possibly sue you. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have one of these tools and it's,
Well, yeah, if anything else comes up, like I said, feel free, call me, email me, I'd be more than happy to help. If you guys get one under contract, you want help with a contract, you want me just to put some eyes on it and check it out for you, I'd be more than happy to help you guys with it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Once again, Kyle Whistle, thank you so much from Whistle Realty, and thank you for walking us through the HUD world. I do have an evaluation sheet I'd like everybody to sign, please. Thank you.